Hello and welcome to this 15-minute core and glute exercise. I know everyone is loving working their core and their glutes right now. So we are going to start this exercise on all fours in kind of a tabletop position, and we are going to do what I call bear crawls. So lifting ourselves up, walking with each arm and then each leg. And then we are going to do 2 crawls across the mat and then 2 crawls backwards into the position that we start from. And we are going to do 5 of these, so we are about to finish our last one. Now we are going to flip over onto our back and we are going to do some V circles. So we are going to start with our legs extended up and then extend them out to either side and kind of do a circular motion, bringing them together at the bottom but not touching the ground. We are going to do 5 this direction and then we are going to change the direction. So we'll start with our feet at the bottom, extending out and then lifting up. 5 reps like this. Make sure your back is staying engaged during these exercises. Now we are going to transition and we are going to do some bicycle crunches. So taking these a little bit slower than maybe you would a typical bicycle crunch, but not too entirely slow. Now we are going to come back up a bit and we are going to sit on our side. So we are going to do this modified plank and we are going to lift one leg and pull it in towards our elbow, supporting ourselves with our arm and the opposite leg. And now we are going to switch over and do the exact same thing on the other side. So we are going to get into that modified plank, bending our knee that is supporting us at a 90-degree angle, and then lifting our other leg up in line with our body, pulling it in for a sort of side crunch motion. And now we are just going to do that same set of exercises that we just did over again. So we are going to start with our bear crawls, lifting ourselves slightly off of all fours and walking with our arms twice, walking with our feet twice, and then backing it up and doing the same thing backwards. And 1 rep is going all the way across the mat. So right now we are in our 3rd rep. We have 2 more reps for this exercise. Really trying to keep your core engaged and keep your body stable. If you need to take a little bit more time to do these exercises, that is okay. Form is the most important thing. Going back onto our back, we are going to go back into those V circles. So starting with our legs lifted up, extending out like a V, and then circling back in and pulling up. So we are going to do 5 reps this way, and then we are going to pause and do 5 reps starting at the bottom. Now we are switching and starting at the bottom, going up, lowering down together, and then extending out and lifting up. making sure, as I mentioned before, that your back is staying engaged with the ground. Taking a quick little rest before moving into our bicycles. Only 10 here. And now moving back into our modified plank, lifting that leg to do some side crunches. Also, if any of you are curious about where this outfit is from, it is from Amazon, and I have linked it in the show notes. Switching to the other side now. Crunching in with that leg, and it's okay and completely normal if one leg is, better at doing this exercise, or you feel like you're getting it further or closer to your elbow with this exercise with one leg than the other. That's completely normal and fine. Just keep that in mind. Now we are going to switch into our second set of exercises, which is going to be a little bit more lower body and glute focused. So we are going to start on our side, supporting ourselves with our elbow and shoulder, and holding our legs at a 45-degree angle. We are going to lift our top leg and keep our lower leg on the ground. These can be referred to as clamshells, but really we just want to keep our body super stable while we just lift that leg into a clamshell motion, keeping our feet together and keeping our lower leg on the ground. Now we are switching, extending our legs straight and lifting them off the ground slightly. Then lifting our top leg, we are extending it as high as we can and then bringing it back down to our lower leg. That is, as you can see, still lifted off the ground, only slightly. This is really the challenge here, keeping that lower leg lifted off the ground. As you can see, even for me, doing this exercise is very challenging. Now we are going to switch to some leg swings. So we are going to stay in that position, but instead of lifting our upper leg up, we are going to be swinging it in front of us and behind it, trying to keep our body as stable as possible and not moving as much as possible. And then after we finish up these swings, we have one more exercise in this position. We are going to bend that leg back, just keeping it extended straight, parallel with your other leg lifted slightly, and then bend it back almost to the point where your heel will reach your buttocks. It may not happen, and that's okay, but that is kind of the movement that we are doing. Lowering that leg, we are going to switch to the other side now, and we are going to do all of those same movements over again. So starting with our legs slightly bent at a 45-degree angle, we are going to start with those clamshells, lifting our upper leg, keeping our lower leg on the ground, and keeping our feet as together as we can. You should really feel this in your glute and that side body in your core. Now extending our legs straight out and lifting our legs both off the ground, we are going to lift and extend that upper leg, bringing it down to tap our lower leg, but keeping our lower leg lifted at all times. If you need to let it rest for a second, that's completely fine. After we finish up these, we're going into our leg swings immediately, swinging forward and then backwards as far as we can in front of and behind our body, and it's okay if you can't go this far back or forward. And now we are doing our last exercise here. We are going to do those leg bends. So just keeping both of our legs extended and lifted, we are going to bend that top leg, keeping our body stable. Now, we are not going to introduce any new exercises. We are just going to do that set of exercises over again. So flipping back to our other side, legs slightly bent at 45 degrees and starting with those clamshells. Like I said, we will not be introducing any new exercises for the remainder of our time together today. We are just going to do the same exercises that we just did in that previous set. And as we finish up our clamshells, we are extending straight, lifting both, and pulling that top leg as far up as we can. Remembering that this leg sequence is really meant to be done kind of all at once and not a lot of breaks are going to be taken. This really helps with the toning and tightening. As you can see, we're just transitioning into those leg swings right from those extensions. We're not really taking a break. But of course, if you need to take a break, that is completely fine. And as we finish up our leg swings, we are going to almost be done with this side, just finishing with our leg bends, really trying to bend that leg and keep both of our legs stable at the same time. Remembering that after we finish up this exercise, we only have a little bit more time left together today. We are switching to the other side and we are going to do the exact same exercises for the exact same amount of reps, and then we will be completely done with this 15-minute core and glute. So starting with those clamshells. And transitioning now into our leg extensions. Before we move on now to our leg swings, we only have a very short amount of time left here together today, less than a minute, so just finish this workout strong, get those leg swings in, keep your body as stable as you possibly can. And finishing off with a more easy exercise, although I know your glutes are probably burning, we are going to just bend that leg in. And there you have it, guys, a 15-minute core and glute workout. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for weekly workouts. Thanks so much. Hope you have a good one.